3 years, he's already got the chemistry with him, which is an advantage over everyone else in their current receiver core. Now I understand that reports coming out of camp are saying that Ladd McConkey is having a phenomenal connection with Herbert, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to how you perform on Sundays, which is something Palmer has shown time and time again what he's capable of. I mean, this dude was literally cooking the Chiefs secondary, who has some of the better corners in the league in L'Jarius Sneed and Trent McDuffie. During the Week 6 matchup in particular, he had a career day where he put up 133 yards on 5 receptions. And in the 7 games he did play with Herbert last season, he was targeted 7 or more times in 4 of those games, which bodes well for what to expect this upcoming season, even in a more run-heavy system that Greg Roman wants to run. So in the ADP of 170 in ESPN PPR leagues, he's an absolute steal for me, and people should be taking more advantage of it. Next up on the list, I've got running back Zack Moss from the Bengals. With Joe Mixon now in the Texans, Moss is a clear-cut RB1 in this backfield, with no significant competition, as Chase Brown will likely be his handcuff option, Trevion Williams is more of a special teamer, and Chris Evans is a third down specialist. Moss has shown that he can produce when given the opportunity, as he finally got a chance to start after Jonathan Taylor had a contract dispute early on this season, allowing for Moss to absolutely tear it up. Through weeks 1 through 8, he was the overall RB4 in PPR formats, and only declined in production once JT got his new contract and came off of IR. Although Moss started a few games later down the stretch due to injuries sustained by JT, he was dealing with injuries himself, which severely hampered him, even causing him to leave the game early against the Steelers after a touchdown run, where he ended up only playing 19 snaps. Overall, with the current ADP of 99, Moss would be a great RB2 or even a flex option if you decide to go RB heavy early on, given his ability to play on all 3 downs and with little to no competition in the backfield, signifying his status as a bell cow back. Moving on to our final guy on the list, I've got Keenan Allen from the Bears. At an ADP of 53, you too can fleece him like the Bears did from the Chargers for just a 4th round pick. One of the most underrated receivers of his generation, it's hard to believe that he's now entering year 12 of his storied career, where he's still producing like a top receiver. Last season, he was one of the very best fantasy receivers, ranking as the wide receiver 2 from weeks 1 through 13, before being shut down after Herbert also went down, and playoff hopes for the Chargers were slim. Through 13 games, he only had 1 game with less than 9 targets, giving him a target share of 32% that ranked 3rd amongst all fantasy receivers last season. Along with that, he also had 8 games with double-digit targets, highlighted by his performance in Week 2 against a blitz-heavy Vikings defense, where he racked up 18 receptions on 20 targets for 215 yards. Along with that, he also had a passing touchdown, which was good for 45.46 fantasy points, which is absolutely absurd. Now I understand he's on the wrong side of 30, but the Bears clearly brought him in for a reason, which is to be a target-friendly possession receiver for rookie quarterback Caleb Williams, and essentially replicate what he did with Justin Herbert early on in his career. Obviously, with DJ Moore and Romeo Dunze in the mix now, he'll command a lot less targets, but his route running and understanding of where to sit in zones will enable him to be Caleb's go-to receiver. And the chemistry he'll develop as the season progresses is why I think he'll finish much higher than where he's currently being drafted. With that being said, that's a couple of guys that I thought were massively undervalued so far this summer. Let me know down in the comments who you think is a value pick right now, according to your current ADP. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching.